The first episode was venting, second episode venting. Today we're going to take the next. If you have been looking, if you have studied the flyers, you will see that we have anger. I need to look at the flyers. Can I look at the flyers from anybody here? So that would see Novade. Thank you for joining. Ogun Shakin Biodu, thank you. Emmy West, thank you for joining. P-Man113, thank you for joining me tonight. Can I have the flyer? I wrote here in the flyer, it says, not every vent is gossip. We've talked about venting is gossip. If you miss any of the episode, please go back there and watch. It's always on our page. Not every gist of information. I skip gist. I'm going to talk about real gist. Then today, not every outburst is drama. Outburst means anger. Not every outburst is anger or is drama. So today we're talking about being drama free. Everyone, some people don't like drama, especially men. I don't know why they don't like women that are dramatic. They call them drama queen. We have some men that are also drama queens. So, but I hear more about saying somebody is a drama queen than saying somebody is a drama king. I want to appreciate everyone for joining. Please share with your friends. Tonight is going to be informative, it's going to be instructive. We need to get some things right, especially when it comes to our emotions, our relationship. Until you are able to personally analyze and understand the dynamics of your relationship, you're going to be acting like a pendulum. Today you are good, tomorrow you are sad, next tomorrow it's happy, next other part of the day is something else. So it becomes so confusing, and sometimes it can be overwhelming when you have to keep going around in that same circle of drama in your relationship. So that's why we're doing this, and I'm trusting that we're consistent with this. I want you to share with your friends, tell everyone. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube. Please make sure you do something about giving out this information. I remember I had a meeting. I just finished a program on is marriage spiritual, and the person interviewing me was asking me if why is it that the Gen Z generation don't have enough information, and the junk they are taking into their soul is the one dictating the tune. And I told him, I said, well, if you want someone to change, you have to give that person an alternative. We call it garbage in and garbage out. You cannot give someone what he does not have alternative. If you don't want a child to go and play outside, you must allow something, you must bring something home for that child to play with. So that's the way it is. And I told him, I said, we are taking charge. We are ravaging. We are going to reach and hit the social media like a tsunami, because really you cannot be angry or reacting to people receiving wrong information, and you're not giving them the right information. So who does that? We need to start disseminating good information and let people know that there are other ways to live, there are other lifestyle that is better than whatever they are giving them as junk. And a lot of people, people listen to on social media, you see them, this person is bleeding, this person is struggling, this person is not stable, and that is your model, that is your mentor, that is your standard. That's crazy. It's not supposed to be. You should get people that will inspire you. If you don't relate with people that will inspire you, become expired, you become an expired drug. And of course, expired drug is dangerous to health. So today we are discussing drama free, dealing with anger, the fire that burns beneath the skin. That is anger. It's a fire that burns within the skin. Some people have noticed, a lot of people, their fuse is so short. Any little thing, you just see their countenance, you just see their attitude, and you're wondering, what did they carry, what did we throw? It's just has become their second nature. And I'm going to be dealing with this today. Of course, it's going to come in parts. I'm not rushing anywhere, in all fairness, because there's no point rushing anywhere when life is at stake, when destiny is at stake, when people would, at the end of the day, become a victim of whatever that is eating them up. The root of anger. Anger is one emotion that is so justified, and yet people don't understand it. In all fairness, Moses met an Egyptian trying to beat his brother, beat him, kill him, put him under the sand. Justified. He's killing my brother, I'll kill him. But that does that make him a good person being a murderer? No. Anger is one emotion. We all justify it, yet we don't understand it. And that's why we call it temper, stress, irritation, reaction. You are looking at this person, why are you so irritable? Calm down. We call it grief. We call it temper, stress. You give it names because we don't really understand that anger is an unprocessed pain looking for a target. That's deep. Anger is an unprocessed pain looking for a target. I don't know if you have met people that the moment they feel stressed or something happens to them, the next thing is they're looking for somebody to transfer the aggression to. Short fuse in the band of Christian home today. Thank you. No man, no more abuse. I celebrate you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being a voice. Thank you for making it loud to the world that no abuse, no toxicity, no more abuse. Get close to narcissistic personality disorder. No more becoming a victim of error. Take your life back. Those are the languages that she speaks. Unprocessed pain looking for a target. That is anger. Pain is there, is hidden somewhere. Thank you, ma. Hidden somewhere, and yet is looking for who is the next target, who is the next person, who is the next wife, husband, children. So we bottle it up, but it's an emotion, it's an unprocessed pain. And pain is part of life. As a matter of fact, pain is not an enemy, it's a friend. What pain is telling you directly is change. Because if you refuse to change, you will change. So pain is a friend, it's not an enemy. And that's pain, that's unprocessed anger, untreated wound. It shows up in relationships. That is where people lash it on. You lash on your mom, on your dad, on your wife, on your husband, on your children. So what is the root? I'm talking today as a therapist and as a counselor. What is the root of anger? The first root of anger is parenting. Every child, in the fallen nature, we have anger problems, the works of the flesh. I said it when I was having an interview today on one of the, it's on my previous, I just finished, just got back home, and I said that when you are raised from a dysfunctional home, either ways, some things are damaged in you. Maybe you are abandoned, you are rejected, you are isolated, you are verbally abused, emotionally abused, sexually abused, financially abused, psychologically abused, physical abuse. Everything sits in your soul. It gives you pain. I gave an example of, have you ever asked yourself, I do a lot of thinking, and I'm faith-based in all fairness. I do a lot of thinking, and one day I just started, I said, excuse me, what is the part that Moses' daddy played in his life? Oh my God. The man was just a shadow dad, missing in action dad, boundary buster dad, and traditional dad. Never in the picture of Moses. I wish his hero was there to cheer him up and tell him, you are a star, you are a deliverer. This was the mother, the sister, women. Inside this young man, loaded but wounded, anointed but addicted to anger. Anointed but addicted to anger. Absent dad syndrome. Yes, his father wasn't there. I wish, when you have father's issues, you have to come on this side. Maybe I'll bring you on my story and my reality. Are you ready? No more abuse. No more abuse. Loaded button there. We are interacting. I'll bring you on my next. My story, my reality. She's coming on board. She needs to tell us her story and her reality from this platform. That's next week Tuesday. Please look forward to her. I'll talk to her when I'm done. you are you are led to be here, so don't even say no. Now, parenting, the foundation of anger, foundation of stress. Not yet, mommy. Emma Sheba, you don't do this now. Okay, I agree. I don't force, but I just believe that no matter what, we have the voice must be louder than what it is. When we are raised from a dysfunctional home, especially by parents that are not emotionally mature, meaning that we have parents that come home, get angry, throw tantrums, verbally abusive. You these children, you this name calling. I don't even like calling those names, honestly, because to me they are toxic. Now, when you are raised by parents that are verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, psychologically abusive to you, definitely you are bottling up anger. You are not going to process it, because it's only when I started traveling out of Nigeria, I used to hear children say, Mom, you are hurting my feelings. Dad, that's not nice. You are hurting my feelings. Africa, where I grew, they did not born any human being well in this life to say somebody is not fair, making me feel bad, hurting my feelings. You don't have a feeling. If you are raised from a dysfunctional home, don't talk. You must keep that family secret. It must be covered. Don't trust. You have trust issues. Then don't feel. I'm talking about the root of anger. I said it is an unprocessed pain looking for a target. Being raised by parents that are not emotionally matured, what they do or what happens to the children that are raised in that system is they have what I call repressed anger, unprocessed anger, unexpressed anger. Everything is covered and repressed. And that is why I've listened to a lot of people that will say, even my parents, everybody in my family, they know I'm the most gentle. I'm not talking. I don't react. And when they are married like this, they become vampires. They become rageaholic. They become an angry wolf. They become, you are wondering, and as a matter of fact, anytime you go and probably report, or you have to look for a counselor, or you have to, have to be in therapy or something, or have to talk to your parents, or maybe the wife goes to the father's house or the mother's house to say, my husband just beats me, look at the man. They'll say, no, they are doing my son. My son does not talk. My son does not react. My son is quiet, unassuming, not knowing that the reason why he's quiet, unassuming, is because he has not processed his anger, and he has repressed it, and is quiet about it, looking for someone that'll be gullible, that'll be vulnerable, that'll be helpless, like your wife, sometimes your husband, your children, your acquaintances, your maid, your staffs. That is an avenue for you to bring it out in a venomous way, that you become a person that is either people accept you the way you are because they know that at least you are the one bringing food to their table, or they pack their things and leave you. Either ways, the consequences of an unprocessed anger destroys relationship. So if you are hearing me today and your major challenge is anger, your fuse is short, little thing makes you flip up. Now, I remember some years ago, I was, I brought my kids from school and I dropped others maybe in the lesson or something. One was in the car and he said, Mom, I'm not normal. He said, I'm not normal. I'm not mentioning name now here. He said, I'm not normal. I parked. I actually parked. And I looked at him. I said, who is talking? He said, Mom, I'm not normal. I said, you are normal. You are not handicapped. And he said, Mom, my friends and my teacher, they tell me I'm not normal because I stutter. And they said, when I talk, they don't listen. Oh my God. I backed and I looked at him eyeball to eyeball. And I said, great men stutters. Great men are stammerers. I told him, I said, I mentioned Bishop Oyedepo, he stutters before. I said, Moses, great man, he stutters. There's a seed of greatness in you. Don't listen to them. Next time they say anything like that to you, tell them that they should listen very well. For your teacher, tell them this. Tell Ma, please listen very well. I'm communicating and I'm talking and I'm normal. Then listen for you to hear me. Today is a great man. I wish somebody was just there for Moses to tell him, no, you don't get angry. Let's talk about it. Go to therapy. Probably. Do you know that same anger made the devil to be contending with his body? He couldn't make heaven. Maybe when we get to heaven, there'll be surprises, but it was recorded that there was a contention with the body of Moses because of anger. He could not get into the promised land. Listen, parenting. I've given you that example of Moses. The father was not there. His validator was not there. His umpire was not there. The person that's supposed to tell the world that God has given me a son, it was the mother that said, this one, I can't kill him. He's handsome. He's goodly looking. It was the sister that saved him from being, killed by the king's daughters. He said, can I go and call the mom? Just all women. The father figure was lost. When a child's father is not there, that child represses anger. There is a dimension of low self-esteem that is drenched in the soul of that child. Let that child be the best in class, go to the best university, be the best in his career. You know what? He's an angry child because every child needs to be validated. Every child needs to be loved. Every child needs to be told, you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are my queen. I remember one year I was in the US. So my guest, my host rather, took us to a restaurant to eat. And they have only one daughter. So she was with us at the restaurant, we were eating. And from nowhere, it was in Tennessee. The father just said, my daughter is the most beautiful girl in Tennessee. And the girl just changed. You could see that she started blushing. Her face changed. I said, wow. Now listen to me. There is no boy that is born of a woman that will tell that girl that she's beautiful, that will make her to lose her head into sleeping around because our hero have said it. Understand the root of anger. I'm talking about negative anger. I'm still going to talk about positive anger. But the moment, because I started by saying is an unprocessed pain looking for a target. And the target are the most vulnerable. Driver, chef, cook, staff, everyone. I've seen, I came from a very dysfunctional home. And one of the things that is so strong in me was anger. I had to sit in therapy to deal with anger. I get angry like I can throw anything. I can fling anything those days. But it's a different thing today. But I was able to trace the root of my problem to parenting. I've seen recently a couple came in for therapy and been practical here because this issue of drama free, we need to flog it. I have over 200 episodes already on drama free. And this particular phrase, unprocessed pain looking for a target, and when it shows up in relationship, it doesn't just burn others, it burns the bridge connection needs to work, that we need to work through. Anger burns the bridge of connection. The moment anger sets in relationship, that relationship, you better excuse yourself before death comes to one. Ask anyone that have probably beaten his wife to death or her husband to death. They are product of, it's a product of anger. If two people are having that weakness, that frailty, one person should excuse each other. I'm not going to lie to you. This is life. Now, I came from a background that there was nothing like you're a good girl. I've been a bad girl, black sheep in the family. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, sexual abuse. I was a victim of such terrible circumstances. I'm telling you my story. I told you if I open my story up, is in we can spend 10 hours talking about my story and my reality. I'm telling you my story. And I understand how you feel when you are not secured with your mates because there's no validator anywhere. There's no one that will say you are doing well. You are judged, you are condemned, you are not appreciated, you are not validated, you are not loved, you are not hearing anything good from anybody. It is what is frail in you, your weakness, that is magnified. And when those weaknesses are magnified, they are not just magnified verbally, they are magnified with physical abuse, with a slap, a punch, a kick, anything can happen because those people, hurt people. Can somebody help me to pin that down? Hurting people hurt people. I'm talking about anger under drama free. And I'm saying that the root of anger is family system. That's why I have a nickname: trace it, embrace it, erase it, and start replacing it. You must trace the root. You must find out, how did we get here? What happened? Who dropped us? Who made us cripple like Mephibosheth? Mephibosheth was a prince. The meaning of Mephibosheth means the one that destroys shame. That's one of the sons of David. He was dropped in Lodebar in the house of Micah. He was crippled both feet. Who crippled you? What crippled you? Family system. Crippled. A child that has an unprocessed pain, looking for a target, does not have a self-esteem. You don't have to be violent, you don't have to be aggressive, you don't have to be angry, you don't have to be rude, you don't have to have a short fuse if you are raised healthily. That's why my nickname is Trace It, Embrace It. Hear me. You may not be able to choose the way you are born, but you have a right to choose the way you will start living your life. Because listen, the moment you have an unprocessed anger and you refuse to deal with it, just know that your future, you have gotten the prognosis of your future. It is written already in black and white. If you have a woman, the woman will still leave you. If you have a husband, your husband will still leave you. If you have children, they will manage you till the time they can escape. You're going to live your life alone because of anger, a pain that is looking for a target. You make your children the target, you make your wife the target, you make everybody around you the target. You are not warm, you are not friendly, you are not nice. Hurting people hurt people. Thank you. You are not nice. People will just be looking for a way to run. Somebody was asking me today, why did you get into that relationship? I said, I got into that relationship because I wanted to leave home. Don't forget, I was a black sheep in the family. I wanted to leave home. There was no love, there was nothing. I was a black sheep. I remember one day, one of my aunties, oh my God, I forgave her, but I can't relate with her. Sorry. Till her death. I did menstruation, a teenager, small girl that is just coming up. And because I didn't wash my pants, I just put it in the dustbin. Oh my God. The way she beat me that day, I don't think she will ever beat her daughter like that. Because everybody has, I've been stigmatized. I've been told she's a bad girl. Why would you just throw your anger? You know, I told you, unprocessed pain, looking for a target. She had a problem. She's passing it on me. So everybody that is raised from a dysfunctional home, you become the target of of everyone around you that is also not okay. Yes, unfortunately, many women married to get away from the family. Yes, I did. I got married because I wanted to leave home. As soon as I gave my life to Christ, now I was hoovered, I was love bombed. I married a narcissist, so I just quickly ran out. That was what brought me to that relationship. There's no reason for it. And that's why I'm screaming. I'm telling all the younger generation, wake up and embrace yourself now before it's too late. I told you I'm shaking tables. My stories will soon be out there. And no apologies. It's my story, it's my reality. It's my story, it's my reality. When a child grows up from a system that there is no one affection, no one love, and it's so painful that we have a lot of the brother of the prodigal son all over the world. They don't understand. That's why you can never see me judge anybody. Instead of judging, I have empathy, I have compassion. I just look and say, oh God. I used to say that, in my language, they say, "Did that, that, what is the meaning of that? A baby's place is in the uterus. It's not supposed to be on the side. It's because of the circumstances that made the baby to turn to the side. That is the way. So we are not permitted to judge anybody. We are not permitted to stigmatize anybody. We are not permitted to shame anybody because something happened to that person. That's why the person is living that life. I was just looking into my life. I said, Funke, you came with so much potential. You are so loaded. And when they tell you to be born again, nobody is telling you you have baggages. They just told you are born again. If anyone is in Christ, a new creature. All things are passed away. No, don't. They shame us. A lady told me, no, 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 church, please. I was telling one of my clients, I said, listen to me. Pastor, for the fact that you're a pastor, you are not a counselor, please. If you want to be a counselor, go and learn the job. If you're a pastor, you're not a therapist. Therapist is a profession. You learn it. You go to school, you learn. You don't just come out there and judge and and maltreat and shame and embarrass anybody anyhow. Think you're supposed to be born again. Why are you doing that? Please, can you leave that alone? A lady told me her story. She was crying. I was crying. I have so many of them. I have tissue on my table in my office. When they come for therapy or when we do Zoom or we do classes, I just cry for them. I hug them. I apologize. You can't blame a child that the father never loved to go and love a husband. From where? Even if the husband is pampering over loving, the girl does not have the capacity to love. And now you are raising children in another dysfunctional way. This girl came to tell, she told me, she said she was raped when she was in school. And she told brethren. And they brought her to a public place and say, I don't know, when baby is on the pulpit, wounded people are preaching. Sorry. And when baby gives back to baby, who is going to help each other? When hurting people on the pulpit, wounded people are holding microphone. Where do we go from there? And she said they brought her to the open and they started praying that she was careless. Rape, careless. How would you say that? She was not careless. She was raped by a brother that they were in fellowship together. The lady just went home, tried to cook for them like Tamar. Is it the fault of Tamar that she was raped? One of David's daughter, the one that Amnon raped. Is it the fault of Tamar? Is it not the daddy that said, go and cook for your brother that was sick? You don't blame the rape victim. You blame the rapist. You don't even blame the rapist. The rapist was dysfunctional. You cannot be blaming people anyhow again. Please stop. Well, in my profession, we don't do that. It's not fair. From there, from that day, back to back, she became a victim. She's still in denial now. For her to get into therapy, she's still pulling back. I gave her some instructions. She said, no, I cannot do that. I said, well, and she has become trauma bonded. She's used to pain. She's used to rejection. She's used to abuse. She's used to infidelity. The man is sleeping around like a dog. The girl is still comfortable there. Who does that? The woman is trained to take care of their brother, and it's been from the Bible times. Yes. You see? Is it her fault? Tama that went to go and took care of his brother that was ill. It's not her fault. She had to do it. It's not even absurd. And Tama she could not come back out again. She stayed behind the bars, behind the palace, because she was raped. The shame, the stigmatization, they look down, or they look down on you as if it's your fault. Nobody is blaming anybody here. But understand, when those things are not addressed, look at the brother of Amnon. He killed Amnon straight up. And his friend, Jonadab, that told him that he raped somebody, is the one that told the king, don't worry, king, it's not the sons of the king that was killed. It was Amnon that, because he raped Tamar. Finish. If you are from a healthy home, would you not have healthy association, healthy relationships, healthy people around you? You will have. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, look at the drama in David's house. I wish somebody would just say, can you just get somebody to talk about it? And when you are from this, what I said on processed pain, looking for a target. Do you know that oh God, it's paining me as I'm talking now. When the brother of Amnon, Absalom, told his dad that my daddy, Amnon raped my sister Tamar, because Amnon was a stepsister. That was why Tamar said, Dad, don't do this. He told his brother, don't do this. Step brothers and sister can marry. Tell my daddy he will marry us. Don't rape me. He was stronger than her. She was raped. And when Absalom told his dad that Tamar was raped, there was no talking. Nobody said anything about it. I told you, when you are from a dysfunctional home, don't talk. You must keep quiet. You must act as if everything is fine. Don't trust and don't feel. And that was the problem. Don't talk, don't trust, and don't feel. I wish there was a family meeting and Amnon was properly scolded. Why did you do it? Are you not a prince? A noble does not do an ignoble thing. This is not nice. Shouldn't have done that to your sister. You are going to fast for 7 days. Sister, please, Tama, sorry, sweetheart, sorry. Hug, kisses, take her out, give her treatment, bring her out. Probably he died the death of a sinner. Because, of course, he's a sinner, but who made him a sinner? You know the problem of polygamy. I said, if you are raised from a dysfunctional home, monogamy or polygamy, or being raised by single parents, just know that you have an unresolved anger sitting on the inside of you that is looking for expression, who's looking for who to release it to. And the people that suffers it, they are your spouses. There are people that are less privileged. If you are hearing me today, I'm not going to take time. I still have another program by 9. I have a guest coming in by 9. I have an interview, pre-event meeting coming in by 9. Please, can we take questions, please? Why are the fathers silent? They'll be silent because their own father was silent. Have you forgotten Jesse? She said she wrote an article on why our fathers silent. Let me explain why fathers are silent. Fathers are silent because their own father too was silent. So they pass the baton from generation to generation until somebody will come and say, I'm going to be a transitional person. I'm stopping the flow. The battle continue. And Luther continue. We continue to pass the baton back to back. Well, Jesse had 7 sons. Just think about it. Jesse had 7 sons. And the prophets came to wanting to anoint all of them. They didn't call David to the picture. It was a boy of one night sleep. And you can see the drama. We're going to look at anger in all of this. Hey, when David was told to go and give food to his brothers at the battlefront, you know what His brother said, Eliab said, what have you come to do here? Tribulation, you just come to show your face. Da, 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 da. David just said, is that not a reason? David is one man that I know has had several encounters with God and did everything to work on himself. And that was why when Abigail came to quickly apprehend him, when he wanted to kill Mr. Foolish, he said, thank you for not allowing my hand to shed blood. He was angry, he was furious. David was never comfortable with rejection. They did not bring him to that table. It was the prophet. The prophet wasn't to anoint another person. He wanted to misanoint, miss the head of the right person. He just had a caution in his spirit. He said, is there another boy in this house? Are these all your boys? He said, no, we still have one boy. He was just scratching his head. We still have one boy that is in the bush. The king said, the prophet said, we're not going to sit down until he comes. And they never sat down. That was enough for this boy to feel validated and feel wanted. But guess what? The emotional pain, the trauma, the abuse, the anger is already sitting in his soul. No wonder. You know what David said? It makes me to lie down and it restores my soul. Therapy is the restoration of your soul. That is where your soul gets healed. That is where you find peace with yourself. Forget peace with anybody, with yourself. That is where you find sanity. It is in the place of healing. Get yourself into a place where you can be vulnerable. Your therapist is your dumping ground. Your therapist is your venting ground. Your therapy is the one that helps you to walk through the journey of life unruffled and unscruffled. Thank you, ma. Let me say this. You know, when you are in a place where pain is deep in your soul and you have not been able to express it, that you bring it out of frustration, you bring it out because you are frustrated, you bring it out because you are stressed, you bring it out because you feel unvalidated, unloved. If you are living like that, you are a time bomb. You're an accident that is about to happen. One anger is one word short of danger. Somebody help me to write it. Anger is one word short of danger. Anger. A lot of people have seen enough drama of rageaholic, anger, rage, violence, enough in their home that they cannot have a home without dealing with it. Because the picture that has been painted to their soul is anger. And if it's not dealt with, you can only deal with it by the power of will. You have to tell yourself, no way, you won't kill me. And you have to be wise enough not to be in denial. I told you I'm going to break it down back to back. Denial to me is demonic. Don't ever give yourself any unnecessary alibi. I was provoked. It got me angry. Is it only you they will get angry? When they get you angry, you walk out. You don't flip up the handle. You just excuse yourself. The truth is, if you don't excuse yourself and the the bad one happens, the one you don't want happens, you face the music, you dance to the lyrics, and you face the music. So you cannot afford to give yourself unnecessary alibi. And that's my nature. I get angry easily, and you are provoking me. You are deceiving yourself. You're going to put yourself in a place where at the end of your life, when I say the end of your life, it's not when you are dead. By the time you are old and your anger has isolated you, then you start looking for help. I am doing some teachings on radio now, saying that before it's too late, before it's too late, get into therapy. Before it's too late, do something about one thing. That thing that is eating you up, do something about it. Yes, therapy is expensive, sure, anywhere in the world, because it's time. It's digging into your soul. Somebody asked me, say, "Ma, I want you to mentor me." So I would not do therapy. I said, "Sir, there are two different things. When you sit in therapy, it's different from mentoring." And that's just the truth. Therapy is like, is exactly like going to the theater. You are laid down on the theater table. You are caught and you are sutured back. That's simple way I can explain therapy. You go to the guy to the theater table, they cut you, they bring out the whatever it is, or cancer, or whatever it is they see, fibroid, whatever. Then they now suture you back. Then you start healing. You start healing. And that healing is like peeling an onion. Start healing. That's therapy. This anger thing, it has set some people to early grave. Some have killed themselves. I've said it before. I don't want to take too much of our time because I know that this alone, if you sit with it and you share, please share it with your friends, share it with people, and let them just take advantage of this truth and let them know that anger is a way you express your frustration looking for a vulnerable target. Question. If there's no question, then we can call it a day today, this evening. Yeah. Question. I'm trying to look if we have questions here. Anger is unprocessed pain looking for a target. Any question in on other platforms? Please let me to find out so that I can answer them before I go. Any question? Don't be silent about your anger. Make sure you do something about it. And some people have their, well, I'll be talking about positive anger. Today is just the negative one, and the effect, the foundation. I've told you your parenting. Please check your parents, check your background, check your bringing. The moment you have parents that are having issues, dysfunctionally, maybe they fight or they are divorced, or your daddy has sexual problem, or your mommy has issues, or you are just from a dysfunctional home. It could be monogamy and be dysfunctional. Polygamy, definitely dysfunctional. Being raised by single parents, surely dysfunctional. Don't mask it. A lot of people say, okay, my mother tried, she raised us well, she did well. I know she did well career wise. You were able to go to school, but what about your emotional life? How do you react to things? When people press your button, what happens? When people say things that gets to you, what happens? When people talk down on you, how do you feel? Word wounds truly, but if you have your worth and you've built your self-esteem, any question is there, right? I'll answer it. You know, anyone that is built, your self-worth is back up on point, it will be little. You will even laugh over some things that somebody comes to tell you as an insult. Yes. How can you help a spouse that needs therapy but doesn't believe it needs it? That person must have a personality problem. It doesn't have insight. You can send me a DM, chat me on DM, or send me a WhatsApp message. Please, I don't pick calls. Please put my number there, 080-232-42389. You can actually strategize about the issue of therapy depending on its value. If he's a man that sleeps around and have alternatives because he's enjoying what he's doing now, he might not listen to therapy. But people get into therapy when they are tired. Actually, when people still enjoy what they are doing, they won't be bothered. So you have to take your own life back. It's you that should take into therapy now and know how to deal with such a man so that the man will not destroy your life, because hurting people hurt people. When people bleed, they bleed on other people too. So people can be bleeding on you. Your husband can bleed on you when they are bleeding. That's why you see people that are having emotional problems, they start lashing it out on people around them. I said it. I said, maybe you forgot. I put it here. Somebody helped me to pin it down. I will still pin it down. He said, what did I just put here? I want to make reference to it properly. Okay, I said hurting people hurt people. I said um anger is expressing your anger is a repressed frustration that you are looking for your target, unprocessed pain, looking for a target. That is anger, is an unprocessed pain. You are now looking for a target. For how long would you be targeting innocent people, innocent lives? So you that is relating with a man that does not want to accept that he needs therapy, you need therapy yourself. Just get yourself into therapy, know how to handle him. When he brings his whatever he's bringing to the table, you will know how to manage it, because now you are whole. You have taken your life back. You are coming from the angle of someone that is complete and total. And that's the beauty of life. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you 9 o'clock. I have another session here. So I'll see you there.